Sometimes in life, we make ourselves so small. We make ourselves seem like we can't accomplish great things. And we tell ourselves that we're not good enough. We tell ourselves that we can't do this certain thing that God has called us to do. And sometimes it could seem like what God has called us to do is insurmountable, and that will never actually accomplish what He wants us to do. But I need to remind you right now that God has called you for a reason. And I know right now you might not seem like you're prepared. It might not seem like you're ready for what He's called you for, right? Maybe you just got out of school, but He wants you to go into ministry. Maybe He's called you to preach to many different people. Maybe He's called you to start a Bible study. Maybe He's called you to start a book, to write a book. And you feel like, wait, God, how do I do that? I'm not prepared. I'm not sure what it takes to get to that level. But let me remind you right now that God is not worried about whether you're prepared or not. Because listen, He's going to prepare you for what He's called you to do. So I need you to understand that it's not about how much you're prepared for, but it's about how much you trust God. Because the more you trust God, the more you allow Him to prepare you, the more you allow Him to work on you as a person and give you the strength you need to accomplish your goals, that's when things can happen for you. Let me read you a verse real quick. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. So maybe your whole life you were looked down on. Maybe your whole life people thought less of you because maybe you had some sort of disadvantage. And maybe people thought that, oh, it's just this guy. It's just John. It's just Sarah. It's just Frank, right? I'm just saying random names, but you get the point. And I'll tell you guys the truth. I honestly did not feel ready to start a YouTube channel. I didn't feel ready to start preaching online because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I hadn't read the whole Bible. I didn't know enough scriptures, and who am I to teach anyone the gospel? Who am I to spread the gospel? Right? I'm still struggling with lust. I'm still struggling with pornography. And how am I going to help other people? But when I had those thoughts, it was preventing me from actually achieving what God wanted me to do. So instead of listening to those thoughts, I took the first step. And what I did was post a small little video, right? You could check out my first video on this channel. And how many times do we tell ourselves this? I don't know enough. Right? You think you're supposed to know everything. You think you're supposed to have everything figured out before you can start doing whatever God has called you to do. But you must understand, in Luke 12 verses 12, God says, I will give you the words to say. So why don't we trust God to give us the words to say? Why do we think we need to figure it out all on our own? Why do we think we need to figure out every single aspect of our lives? Because we're not. I'll tell you guys right now, I'm not in my home state. I completely moved out. As soon as I graduated high school, I moved to a different state because I know that's what God called me to do. And I'm honestly terrified right now. I'm scared for my life. But I know that God is faithful. And you guys have seen it through this channel. So I ask you guys to keep me in prayer. But it's these little things that we do. These little moves of faith. They require a lot of faith out of us. Right? If God calls you to do something. And I'm not just saying these things. You guys can see right now. I'm not in my room right now. I don't live at my old house anymore. I'm in a completely different state, 5 states away from my old house. But I do my best to lead by example, even when it's difficult, even when life is hard. But I'm telling you right now, you must do the same. You must walk by faith. You must take that step God is calling you to do, even if you don't feel prepared, even if you don't feel ready, even if you think you're not ready for what He's called you to do. I know it's not easy. I understand that completely. I understand that. And if you guys want to talk to me about the situation or about your situation, I would gladly love to help you. You could check out my Instagram link in the second link in the description and DM me there. All right. But if you can just trust in God, if you can just take that first step, what He's calling you to do, because you probably won't feel prepared. You're not going to feel prepared. You're not going to feel like, okay, now it's time to get ready. That moment may never come where you feel ready to do what He's called you to do. And that's why it requires faith each and every single time to take that move of faith to start what He's called you to do. And even sometimes we might feel like we've messed up too much. Maybe we feel like we've done too many bad things. We've fallen into pornography too much. We've smoked too much weed. We've drank too much alcohol. We've hurt too many people in relationships, and we feel like we're not good enough. We feel like we're horrible people. But you must understand this, okay? God says this in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 9. My faith is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So whatever you're struggling with, whatever weakness you have, God wants to strengthen you in that weakness. He wants to show you that my power is stronger than whatever you feel right now. My power is more than you can even imagine. And what you're going through right now, the weakness you have right now in this very moment, as you watch this video, is actually going to be used by God to show his strength and to show that no matter how you feel, no matter how strong or weak you are, he can help you overcome. So I know you feel unprepared, like I keep saying over and over, but you are called for a reason, and you are here on this earth for a specific reason. You're not here to just exist. You're here to actually make a change in this world. So let me tell you this, all right? If you feel unqualified, that's actually a good thing, because that's how God can get the glory. That's how God can use you to show other people that it's not about what you have or how much knowledge you have, but about what I can do through you. Okay, so if you struggle with faith, you struggle with this aspect of not feeling good enough, DM me on Instagram, send me a DM. I can help you out with that as well. If you want me to help you personally on a one-to-one level, help you get to the greatest version of yourself, help you to become the man you know you can be, or quit pornography forever, I specialize in helping men quit pornography forever using biblical principles. If that sounds interesting to you, click the top link in the description and we can get started, all right? And as I close this video, let me tell you this, all right? Moses had a stuttering issue. David fell into sin with Bathsheba. Peter, he denied Jesus Christ himself, and he still used all these people. God still used all these people to do great things. What makes you think he can't use you? All right? Keep that in mind and remember this: in a world full of problems, choose peace.